When you are in a media interview, you need to aim for all 3 message points in every single answer. Now, let me say that again, because people hear that and they say, oh, I should aim for all 3 message points at some point in the interview and try maybe to kind of hit one message, if it's convenient, in every answer at some point in the interview. No, that's not what I said. I'm saying you need to aim for all 3 messages in every single answer of your interview. Now, this doesn't mean that you say it word for word the same way, same order, same examples. It's not that I want you to sound like a broken record. No, that's going to make you sound like amateur hour. But I do want you to bridge back to your themes again and again and again. Different word order, different order of messages, different wording, different examples, different levels of abstraction. But still, at some conceptual level, I want you to bridge back to your 3 message points in every single answer. Now, this feels awkward. I understand that. It feels phony. It feels contrived. Well, guess what? You're trying to be contrived. You're trying to contrive the messages you want into the final story. Now, this only works if you have good messages and you've gotten rid of anything that isn't automatically interesting to reporters. But if you have good messages and you hit them again and again, and you have different examples, different case studies, different wording, different sound bites for it, you simply increase the odds of the message you want getting into the final story. Because if you just hit your message points once and you have 47 other messages come out of your mouth, at the end of the interview, the reporter looks down at the notes or the footage, and you now have a 3 in 57 chance, or excuse me, a 3 in 50 chance of getting what you want in the final story. Do you like those odds? I don't like the odds of 3 in 50. But if you hit your messages again and again and again, and each one of your message points has been hit a dozen times, and only a few other message points have been hit, I like those odds. Because now there's a huge possibility that the messages you care about get into the final story. Keep in mind, this is something you do for edited media interviews. Most media interviews are edited, unless you're on live TV or live radio, and even then, another reporter can be looking at it and pulling out sound bites. So these days, anything can be edited, so you have to keep that in mind. This is not public speaking 101. If you do this in a speech or a panel discussion, people will think you're crazy. People will think you've lost your mind. This is not about public speaking. This is specifically about talking in a media interview. Now, is there a chance a reporter will catch on and say, well, you're repeating yourself? Again, if you have good messages and they're what you think are most important, chances are the reporter will actually appreciate it and say, hey, I've got it. Thanks, I got to go. The interview can simply end. Of all the things to do in media interviews, this is far and away one of the hardest. It takes practice. It feels awkward. It feels embarrassing. I'll tell you what doesn't feel embarrassing, though. That is looking at that story on the webpage later that day or tomorrow or in a newspaper or that clip on a TV broadcast, and it's the exact message you decided you wanted before the interview ever happened. That feels great.